right? Or these people, right? Now, what I wanted to outline was Brother Amazite maybe about a month ago, a few weeks ago, pulled up this United Nations General Assembly Human Rights Council session from June 24th, where they were talking about human rights and the deprivation of nationality. Right, so this is the conference that they had, meeting, session, whatever. The UN people, who NAAIP, all these people are using as, well, if the UN's and then we get down to UN, then all our stuff is going to be all right, because, you know, when the UN, the United Nations, United Nations was founded by Winston Churchill and Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They were the ones that the thought clicked in, that we should have a United Nations, and then they became in existence. Two individuals, who mind are Europeans, right? Second to this, they put out their declarations of a child, declarations of human rights, and indigenous people, UN indigenous people. If they have three declarations, and it goes from child, human, indigenous people, right? Nobody ever talks about the origin of these declarations. Where these declarations come from that the world is saying that they back. Like, is it just, the world just came together and said, well, it can't be that because it's still war and stuff like that going on, right? So when we backtrack, all these declarations, they all go back to the rights of the Declaration of a Child, right? And the fact that the rights of the Declaration of the Child actually came out of the League of Nations. And then the League of Nations is the foundation of the United Nations. And the League of Nations adopted adopted the Declaration of the Rights of a Child because of, again, some Europeans who in World War I saw child suffering and decided that something needs to be done about this, and then they put in their, you know what I mean, letter to whoever is the head of it, and the head of it said, yeah, we need to do something about children not being respected or whatever, right? So they started that, but through the League of Nations. And then when the League of Nations went into the United Nations, the Declaration of the Child was adopted along with the other ones to make it more not just about children suffering, because adults are suffering too, right? Now, this was going on, the whole Declaration of the Rights of a Child was going on in 1923. During the same time that Noble Drew Ali was talking about for the young and unborn. Right, for the young and unborn was the point that he was making as to why we do what it is that we do. And during the same time that Noble Drew Ali is doing his missionary work, some Europeans on the other side of the world realized that something has to get dealt with, and they put something in place, right? So that the child, when the child grows up, there's going to be stuff there to protect them too. Not just that when they're a child they're protected, and when they get to adult now they have no rights and they can't be respected anymore because they're not children anymore, right? So bringing all that up to say that there's no need for people to try to recreate what Noble Drew Ali came to do for the nations.
It's NAAIP?
NAAIP is National Association for the Advancement of Indigenous People.
Sorry, they don't even have United Nations in itself says nations, and they're not.
Clearly,
Association.
they're an association. So if they're an association, then obviously they're not dealing with nationhood. Right? And being that we were talking about this yesterday, and we were talking about tribes and nations, and the fact that you have to be a very minute-minded individual to think that tribes supersede nations. Your world view is local, because even tribal people tie themselves to some nation, something bigger than them. Even nomads tie themselves to something bigger than them, right? So we were calling today, get ready and be forced to, because the message of liberation and freedom is only for Negro, Black, colored people now. Everybody else in the world has been liberated and free. Whether they're hungry still, whether there's wars going on, whether, they got bailout package or whatever like that. All of that doesn't matter, because majority of the people on the planet are in tune with nature in some way, shape, or form. They are directly involved in nature's happenings, which keeps them tied to their nationality without even being open about it, even though they're open about it, to let you know that national, I'm a national, I have a flag, I have a country, I have a religion, we have a certain way that we dress. Yeah, they might not come out and say, oh yeah, here's a nationality card from wherever they say they come from, but by the way that they present themselves.
Just watch when the World Cup happens.
Yeah, watch when the World Cup happens. How many flags of nations are represented? And how many, that arena is example of how it is in the world, right? The individuals who are tied to nations, the individuals who are nationals, usually have some type of recognition on some type of world stage, that they're not recognizing, oh yeah, that black guy jumped over or whatever. Oh, that German. That German right there, he did whatever for the Germans or whatever. But as soon as it comes to here, that athlete or that whatever is representing a corporation. Every time it comes to here, everybody else is dealing with nationhood. They got a flag, whatever. Then these guys over here have a banner, pretending that it's a flag. The national anthems and stuff like that to corporations. Then the world is looking at them, knowing that that's a corporation that they're part of. And then they have all those people behind them applauding them for the great work that they did. And we finally got, our black athletes got gold or whatever like that. Now we're somebody. When they're worth less now. Because now you stood up for it and you won on that platform as stateless. So we will continue to, even if you're a therapist who's trying to calm an autistic man in the middle of the street with your hands up, we're still gonna shoot you in the leg. Just because you're trying to take us, the mercenaries, like stupid people. Like we have to bend to your stateless will. We have to accept your position of statelessness that, you can just lay in the street and then there's an autistic boy there that's tripping out or whatever, and you're the one that has to make sure that he's calm. We're going to let him wild out and we're going to shoot you. Plain and simple. Right? Charles Kinsey, lying in the street before being hit by a bullet fired by a North Miami police officer. And remember, this is out here's news, right? So historically, people know that Canada is UDAD's baby sister, right? They're just separate and they're different places, and then people over there can't call here unless they talk to the phone company and get a plan because Canada's international and all that stuff. But we know that over here is over there's baby sister. So, the child is going to emulate the bigger sibling. That's just what it is, right? A black therapist, off the bat. They didn't even intro the situation or anything like that. Straight to the point. A black therapist, right? Get everybody in there, do their witchcraft. Get everybody in that victimization. Oh, why they shoot him? He's a black therapist. He's just trying to help the black boy and the black issues of black whatever like that. And then people are looking at that and recognizing and realizing that these people still don't get it. Right? And remember, this is after the General Assembly that they put it out to anybody to read. Because more just went online and found it online. So it's out there for everybody to read, right? Black therapist. As long as I've got my hands up, or the moments before the shooting were recorded on a cell phone video and showed Charles Kinsey lying on the ground with his arms raised, talking to his patient, the highwaymen throughout the standoff appeared to have them surrounded. As long as I've got my hands up, they're not going to shoot me. This is what I'm thinking. They're not going to shoot me, he told the WSVN TV from his hospital bed where he was recovering from a gunshot wound to the leg. Wow, was I wrong. The shooting comes amid weeks of, going through this stuff. Before those shootings, a black man, Alton Sterling, 37, was fatally shot during a scuffle with two quote-unquote white officers, well, quote-unquote, quote, white officers, unquote, at a convenience store. In Minnesota, 32-year-old Philando Castile, who was also black, was shot to death during a traffic stop. Cell phone videos captured the killing. Nationwide protest over the treatment of blacks.
Did it actually say highwayman in there?
No, I put that in there. I didn't want to give them the policing powers, right?